What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Smackdown review. A lot of things going on in the show tonight. As we first kicked it off, I believe they were in, I think it was Oakland, California, if I'm assuming right, in Oakland. Hopefully I'm right, but they kicked the show off with Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon came out and he talked about Kevin Owens. What he did was a cowardly act, and he talked about Vince, pretty much his dad, and said he's a tough old son of a bitch. And he said, he asked Kevin Owens, imagine sitting at home with his kids, watching someone you love get pretty much beat down by a coward. And he pretty much says the McMahons will have vengeance. He pretty much condemned Kevin Owens to hell, really. And he's going to give him the beating of a lifetime with his own hands. He pretty much said you also be condemned pretty much to a lifetime of pain, and it's going to be in hell in a cell. So it wasn't much to say from Shane McMahon's promo. Pretty much short and sweet, get to the point. He didn't really go on really long talking, so he just got to the point. He's just going to come get Kevin Owens next month at Hell in a Cell. So they got a lot of weeks to build this. It's not till October, so it's plenty of time to build this match. Next was Aiden English versus Randy Orton for some reason, which I'm surprised this match even lasted this long and Orton didn't squash him with an RKO. But it's pretty strange how people being booked on this show. Like, Aiden English gets this many minutes. Like, come on, Rusev loses in 10 seconds, but Aiden English damn near goes 8 minutes to Orton, and Sami Zayn loses, damn near 10 seconds to Aiden English also. So, what is the point of that? And, this match was pretty much whatever, like any other Randy Orton match. Wasn't much to say. He won with a RKO. Next thing you know, Rusev came out saying he came to make up for SummerSlam, and that his family looks under disgrace, and now we're going to do this match right now. Pretty much a referee came in, and Rusev tried to do his super kick thing, but Orton caught him. He was going to hit an RKO. He pushed him into Aiden English. English had got a cheap shot on him. And then Rusev kicked Orton and it was over. And then he celebrated running around and saying, "I'm number one. I beat Orton. I'm number one. I'm number one. I beat the Viper." So I don't even know I guess we're still continuing this Rusev and Randy Orton thing for some reason, since they got nothing else going on. Orton pretty much buried Rusev at SummerSlam in 10 seconds. As for the Orton and, like I said, Orton English match, it's kind of whatever, like any other Randy Orton match. But hey, RKO is still great, and people react to it. But Rusev, we'll see where this goes, but it's kind of weird that he celebrated. I beat him. It didn't take much, but I beat him. Next thing on this show, Jinder Mahal in another boring promo as usual, which the crowd did not react, which he came out, once again, making fun of Shinsuke's face with the same picture, and talked of different emotions, how he feels, how he looks, and that the fans are xenophobic, and, he looks forward to people's prejudice, and pretty much trying to even make fun of, I guess, Japanese people, saying that he looks the same. And if the fans did chant Nakamura, by God, this segment went on too long, too. Wasn't really loud Nakamura's song, but, you people sing and dance to Nakamura's music, but you're only hiding your own prejudice again, and then Shinsuke should get a dog groomer as a haircut, and, he called him Mr. Miyagi then, which some fans said that's too far. And then Jinder went to speaking his language, and this whole thing is fucking stupid. Okay, I already thought it was ridiculous last week. I thought the Pikachu line was a little bit funny, but he showed some bass in his voice. Well, last week. This week, I just don't care. And you look at this crowd, they barely reacted. Even when they chanted "that's too far," you barely could hear half of them even chanting it. And I don't know, this was supposed to make Jinder edgy. I don't know where this was gonna go. I pretty much even I have to agree. This comes off as either dumb or just borderline racist, pretty much. And it's this whole segment has failed. So I don't know. He's just trying to make fun of Japanese people and try to imitate them and make them look stupid and use Mr. Miyagi jokes and stuff. But it's not working. Maybe it's supposed to piss off the crowd to get heat, which he barely got any heat really. I think the fans only really got mad at the Mr. Miyagi line. They said that's too far, and I don't know where this goes. I really don't. This doesn't make a lot of sense. And I will say things about the WWE title. It's not even that important on the show right now. The Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens thing is more important than the WWE Championship. I would even put it over the U.S. title right now, really, given the circumstances of what we've seen. And Nakamura did speak, and he called Jinder funny, but it won't be funny when he takes the WWE title with him at Hell in a Cell. Because I almost thought Nakamura didn't even show up on the show. AJ Styles then came out. He talked about Kevin Owens real quick, which, he doesn't know what he's gotten himself into. He's going to get a beat down from Shane. And then he talked about Baron Corbin then. And no one wants to mess with AJ Styles, he says. Corbin, he's Mr. Shortcut himself, Mr. Cheap Shot there. And he's probably going to do it again tonight. And he pretty much called Baron Corbin a failure. You snuck to get the briefcase, but you couldn't cash it in successfully. Failure. You tried to redeem that and try to beat John Cena. You still failed. And when you face AJ Styles, you will fail again. Because he is a failure. So you do not want to step into the ring with AJ Styles. And he said, you can huff and puff, lone wolf, but you won't blow down the house that AJ Styles built. It was a good promo. Corbin then came out. He did his entrance. They did ring announcement, but since we didn't get a U.S. title match, Ty Dillon, he attacked AJ from behind. Ty Dillinger came out and pretty much took out Baron Corbin, throwing him out of the ring, pretty much beating up his ankle. Corbin tried to get in, but he was hurt and kept saying his ankle was hurt. AJ Styles then pretty much came in, hit him with the calf killer, and made him tap. His fans chanted, "You tapped out." So AJ Styles pretty much, killed Corbin right here with the ankle, not ankle lock, but the calf killer right there. So AJ pretty much got payback on Corbin there, and then Corbin was talking to Renee. I say he said he's gonna get payback. He's in a lot of pain. He's not gonna whine and pitch. He's gonna get even. And, to be honest, this match will probably end up in a triple threat match at Hell in a Cell between AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, and Ty Dillinger. I don't know why we didn't get a U.S. title match, but it's like I said, it'll probably set up for a triple threat. Because, I'll say this right here, this open challenge thing hasn't really gone out that well when you look at it, because I haven't really yet to see a full match for the U.S. title open challenge that AJ does, since most of it was just interference and the match never even started. Charlotte came out, returning back on Smackdown, ever since the recent health scares with Ric Flair, with him going back to the hospital in August, which was a really scary time. And she came out to address the situation. She didn't really stick on it long, though. And she thanked everybody for their thoughts and prayers while her dad was sick. But Ric Flair said he was making a comeback like he usually does. And Charlotte said life is fragile, so she said, when it happens, you gotta make everything fast and make the moments count. And she's gonna make every moment count for her and her dad. So she didn't really speak about Ric Flair that much, other than that. Natalya then interrupted and brought a some type of picture under a sheet, and thought she said, we were all worried about your dad, but now that he's better now, we gotta get to something more important. And that Natalya pretty much talked about celebration of women, from Oprah to Florence Nightingale, the people in the Mae Young Classic, and she's gonna re-celebrate women. She had a picture of herself with the title holding up. And Charlotte pretty much says, she was happy to see Natalya, because now I'm going to challenge you for the SmackDown Women's title. Becky Lynch, who we've barely seen on SmackDown anytime, really, pretty much came out that Natalya is crazy. Crazy it is, and crazy will ever be. She's the crazy cat lady. And what Becky Lynch says, this belt needs to go back to the rightful owner, which is herself. Naomi then came out saying that Natalya is a crazy cat lady and that she should get, a title shot right now. All the women who came in and failed, so it's her turn. But then Tamina and Lana came out as Lana called her a crazy cat lady again, which everybody called her crazy, and Natalya got out and said, I'm not a crazy cat lady. I will be the Smackdown Women's Champion forever. Dan Bryan then came out, pretty much set up a fatal 4-way. Thank God it wasn't a fatal 5-way with Lana in it, since it looks, which is still strange that she's managing for Tamina, but they don't have her manage Rusev again, which is just odd, and Rusev's on the same show with her. But I don't know. It's like this all has to do with Raw, and this has to do with both women's divisions. Like they just bunch all the women together without any real story. So hey, there we go, fatal 4-way, predictable, which would happen tonight with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Tamina, which probably Charlotte's gonna win anyway, so they can set up the match with her and Natalya since she just came back, so she's gonna earn her way. New Day winning against the Hype Bros, Usos on commentary. It's a good match. New Day pretty much got the win with the Midnight Hour and taunted the Usos. Kevin Owens was on screen then, talked about Vince McMahon. He said he replayed the footage multiple times, and he didn't say anything. He said he was gonna apologize, and he didn't know what came over him, and he apologized to the McMahon fan, the other universe. But he said Shane said he had this coming, and you made me headbutt Vince's head off his shoulder and kick him around like a garbage bag. And when he got pissed, he had to bring himself back down to earth. You wanted me to beat him and give him a senseless beating, destroying Vince, as he put it. But he pretty much says he respects Vince, but Shane, he made me do terrible things and stuff. And he had one more apology, which will pretty much be the match at Hell in a Cell. And what he did to Vince was a small taste. And you want to condemn me to hell, but what I am doing, what I'm going to you, people like me, go to heaven, not hell. So Kevin Owens wasn't as crazy as much in his promo, pretty much becoming unstable. Well, he was more unstable, but delusional, really. So yeah, it was a really good promo, pretty much to be a satellite. But most likely we'll see something next week between these two. But like I said, it's probably the most interesting thing on this show, almost bigger than the titles, really, with Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens in a Hell in a Cell match. Maybe Shane will win one because he didn't win one at WrestleMania last year. The Hype Bros were in the back, and they said they were tired of losing, and something's got to give, and they got to do something drastic. Drastic. Okay. Doing drastic. I guess moving on with this. Can't never get this done. Oh, we're gonna get the Dolph Ziggler in a minute. Hopefully. Oh, Dolph Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler. Oh, we gotta get the Dolph Ziggler. Screwing over my mic time. We do the review now. Dolph Ziggler, pretty much in his styles and entrances. Pretty much, who's he making fun of this week? He came out doing his regular thing, saying you people don't care. You care about elaborate entrances. Next thing you know, he said he was the greatest performer in the history of the WWE. Well, in-ring performer, but he pretty much then came out in that entrance. Who's it this week? Triple H, folks. Time to play the game. It's time to play Dolph Ziggler's game. He came out with a leather jacket, Triple H shirt, and spitting out water. Next thing you know, he said, you know, I can write NXT now. I don't have to wear my mom's jeans. And he made fun of Shawn Michaels' entrance then. Pretty much says, I lost my smile. Ooh, clearly you have. But then, as people were chanting for CM Punk, multiple CM Punk chants, which that would have been funny because I wanted the Dolph Ziggler say it's clock run time if he came out as CM Punk. But then next thing you know, he came out as the DX entrance, and he came out as the DX entrance as people still got louder CM Punk chants, saying DX is just a bunch of dads desperate for a laugh, doing corny jokes, and that the people don't care, you don't care. That means I don't care about you. So, even though the last time DX really incarnation was around was probably 2009, but I don't know where these segments are going. I guess Bobby Roode, some say, will come out and somewhat interrupt them, but the more this continues up, Ziggler pretty much has probably go away heat now, which I just don't care about these segments because it's not going anywhere, and he most likely does have go away heat. So Dolph Ziggler, I just don't know where he's going right now. Main event time, fatal 4-way for a number one contender shot at the women's championship. Charlotte, Naomi, Becky Lynch, Tamina. Not a bad match. Still, they had a bunch of the women together, but Charlotte did pick up the win. Pretty much a big boot on Tamina, taking her out, winning the match. So Obviously, she was going to win and get a title shot. So, I don't know where this will go with them. Will she win Hell in a Cell? Not sure. But just have to find out and see. Smackdown was okay tonight, I'll give it that. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't put up a memorial graphic of Bobby Heenan, I know people had said. So nobody didn't see that tonight. But, SmackDown was a better show. It still had its problems here and there like usual. And the crowd was a little bit better this time, but I don't know, the gender thing is just horrible. Really is. Ziggler, I just don't know. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Comment, subscribe.